This is the Ryan Rapaport Stereo Podcast. The Ryan Rapaport Stereo Podcast is proudly sponsored by Casper Mattress. Casper Mattress is an award-winning sleep company. It was awarded one of the best inventions of 2015. If you want a mattress and you want to save money and you don't want to cut corners on quality, go to Casper.com, Casper.com. I am moving into a new home. Every single bedroom is covered with Casper mattresses, and now they have sheets, they have pillows. Everything Casper is fantastic. Go to Casper.com, Casper.com/Rapaport. You could save $50 on your purchase of a Casper mattress. And let me tell you something, 100 nights guaranteed. They are guaranteeing their product for 100 nights. You know that you can't do that with anything else? 100 nights, even phones. You get 30 days. If you don't like it and you wait more than 30 days, you're tough. You got to keep that fucking piece of shit. All right, try that with a pair of sneakers. Oh, I want to walk around with 30 days. This is a mattress. You could sleep on it, rest on it for 100 nights. And if you do not like it, Casper will refund you everything for free. It will pick your mattress up for free. Go to Casper.com, Casper. A king-size mattress could cost you up to $2,000, but at Casper, it's $950. Casper.com, sponsor the Ryan Rapaport podcast. I love this product. I love their mattresses. I love their sheets. I love everything about Casper, and I love their pillows. Fuck. Let me just say, the first part of the Wood Harris interview was great. Today's episode is going to go like this. It's going to be an eclectic Ryan Rapaport Stereo Podcast episode. All right, this is what we're going to do. I had to cut the Wood Harris interview up into two parts. I call it Joy and Pain. The first part was the joy. Told great stories. If you haven't listened to it, listen to part one with the actor Wood Harris from The Wire, from Remember the Titans, from Above the Rim. I worked with him on Justified. He's been in tons and tons and tons of things. Avon, Barksdale. Tells great stories of working with Denzel, Tupac, Idris Elba. And he's just a cool dude, interesting dude, smart dude. Played Jimi Hendrix in a movie that he was so much better than the movie. Killed it as Jimi Hendrix. Check the film out, Hendrix. So in this episode, we're going to play second part of the interview where, listen, in the first part, you're hearing a soft-spoken, chill dude. We started talking about NBA, and the cat came out of the fucking bag. We got into it. And the source of it, this is the Ryan Rapaport Stereo Podcast, Wood. So if you're listening, I get the goddamn last word. I realize the reason why he got so nuts is because he's from Chicago. I always think of him as being from New York because I know he started his career as a New Yorker, but he's from Chicago, and the 73 wins by the Golden State Warriors has sent him into some kind of tailspin. We're also going to call up Bizarro Steph Curry. I hope it's his phone number. Bizarro Steph Curry. He only gives interviews to the Ryan Rapaport Stereo Podcast. And then I'm going to get my man Ryan Ruocco, analyst for ESPN, analyst for the Yankees, the Yes Network, covers the NBA. Get his take on the playoffs and OKC and the Golden State Warriors. Crazy series, back and forth. It's going deep into the series. I don't need to give the details because people know. Listen, I have soft ass, hard body karate t-shirts, okay? Soft ass, hard body karate t-shirts at districtlines.com/I am Rapaport. Super duper soft, and they're hard. The design, it says hard body karate. There's a kid on there doing the kicks. Trust me, these are our best t-shirts. And we have some sick-ass t-shirts. We have the Jake t-shirt. Obviously, we have the classic logo t-shirts, many colors. We have the GMoneti t-shirt. I would order the whole fucking pack, okay? But now we have hard body karate t-shirts at districtlines/IamRapaport.com. It's on my Twitter. It's on my Instagram. It's on my... I'm so easy to find. I want to say that all the people that are giving love to the podcast, I think this month, May, we got to make a push. I think this is going to be the Platinum Party month. This month, I think we're so fucking close to getting 1 million downloads for the month of May. 1 million fucking downloads. And I told you, I don't know if it's going to be in LA and I don't know if it's going to be in New York because I'm not anticipating or I don't want to jinx it, but we are throwing a fucking platinum party. So spread the word. Keep the love coming. I'm getting honked at on the street. I know it's not because of my looks. People are honking at me and go, yo, I love the fucking podcast. Keep honking at me. Keep stopping me. Keep saying whatever. I know it means a lot to my man GMoneti. It means a lot to the whole I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast crew. Miles Davis. That's his actual name. He's Asian. Name is Miles Davis. And Jordan Winter, the best producers in the podcast game. And man, shit. So I'm going to rock for a little bit. Then we're going to call Bizarro Steph Curry. I'm currently still displaced. I'm in the. I'll just tell you, I'm in the Hollywood Hills, staying at a friend of a friend's house. There's coyotes up here. There's animals up here. Scare the shit out of me. Scare the shit out of me. I took a walk the other night and I saw a pack of coyotes walking around as if shit was all good. They had no hesitation, no fear. They didn't bat an eye at me. I'm like fucking, I literally was shaking like my boy. I'm scared of those fucking things. They scare the shit out of me. I don't know. A guy got attacked in Thailand. A guy got attacked the other night. All Loaf's matter. This is true story. He's healing happily after having to pry his loaf from the mouth of a python. Real talk. In Thailand, a guy was taking a piss or a crap. You know, they have those squat toilets where you squat down caveman style. I've done it. It's very freeing. You squat down on these toilets. And I don't know, maybe you do that to piss. Maybe you probably do if you squat down and you take a shit. I don't know. They're weird. They're on the floor. I'm not comfortable with them. But when you do it, usually, when I was in Thailand and I had to do it, I didn't like it. I felt scared. I'm not used to it. But a guy 38-year-old dude, was taking a shit. Let's just say that. Let's assume that. Because why would you squat down to take a piss? Guy was taking a deuce. Dropping one. And fucking a 10, this is for real, a 10-foot python snake grabbed onto his dick and he had a 30-minute fight with the snake. They said it took him 30 minutes and he struggled to remove. That's a fight. That's the fight of your life. You get a python on your loaf, you are fighting for your life and your loaf and your rope. Finally, he dismantled the fucking thing and freed himself, and then called the cops. They came. This is real. The pictures are up there. This is not some fabricated thing. The Associated Press did it. All loaves matter. All loaves matter, and God bless this guy. He's been through the ringer. His wife and kids. He's got children. They're in shock. But this guy, I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try. Attaporn. That's his name. Attaporn? What the fuck? Attaporn. That's his name. Attaporn. Jesus, some of these names, they don't translate. He's smiling. And I'm really happy that he made it out. He's smiling. He's missing a few teeth. I think that has nothing to do with the incident with the snake. So, I'm glad you're happy, but maybe after we get, we heal up, maybe we get your furniture fixed because he's missing a few of his fronts. But all loaves matter. And I'm just glad this guy made it out of there. So since I'm moving, I'm having to change cable systems, phone systems, internet. And I had an encounter. Now, I'm DirecTV for life. I love DirecTV. I know it's a little bit overpriced, but I break their balls. What you do if you want to get anything down, your phone service or your cable service, whatever it is, DirecTV, Time Warner, Fios, AT&T, whatever the fuck you use. I could care less. I have no stake in the game. Every now and then, for shits and giggles, you call them up and you say, hey, listen, asshole, I'm cutting my service off at the end of the week. And they're like, why, Mr. Rapaport, or whatever your name is, Mr. Let's just say it's me. And I say, yeah, I'm switching services. I got a better deal, and I'm moving on. Oh, well, we could do this. Nah, it's not good enough. Oh, well, we'll do this and this. Sorry. Oh, how about we do this and this? All right. You convince me, I'll stay. Whenever you're feeling like you got an extra half hour, because when you call these places, you need to give yourself at least 30 minutes, because the customer service in this country, I don't know what it's like in Puerto Rico. I don't know what it's like in Denmark, Colombia, fucking Taiwan, Korea, North Korea, South Korea. I don't know what they deal with. Russia, Bangladesh, I have no idea. Canada, I don't know what it's like. I have no idea what it's like anywhere else. But in this country, when you make a phone call to one of these places, you better strap up your big boy pants and sit tight. And I don't know, bring like a crossword puzzle, a magazine, try to do it at home, and you can watch TV, be on a landline, because you're going to be in for the fucking long haul. So that's why when I get on the phone with them, I like to break their balls, because they unintentionally break your balls. I was on the phone today for 36 minutes with this fucking guy from DirecTV, who was actually the installation guy. I couldn't understand a fucking word he said. And I was with my friend who's a lot more mild-mannered than me. Like, he's like a normal person. And I put him on speaker, and I said, can you understand this cocksucker? And he started talking to me, and he said, sir, I don't understand you. I was like, yo, my man, I don't know what the fuck are you saying? And he said, I come over now. And it wasn't speaking Spanish. He wasn't fucking speaking Spanish, and he wasn't speaking, I don't know what he was speaking. Then he went over to my house to explain that. And now I wasn't there at this time. And this is my new house that I don't even technically own, but I was trying to they allowed me to get the service set up, and they met him face to face. And this guy, I'll just call him Brother Wow, they couldn't understand him face to face. Now, in what land? That's some Don King only in America shit, because only in this country can a customer service guy who's there to install cable crawl all over my brand new house, go on the roof, set up a satellite, is going to be sitting there face to face, and three civilized people, not like myself, three normal civilized people are saying, we can't understand a word you're saying, motherfucker. That's some bullshit. I said something about this on Twitter, and somebody said, that's racist. Suck my fucking dick. Racist against who? Motherfuckers that don't know how to speak English while they're working in an English-speaking society? Eat a dick. Listen, with the fucking America's Next Top Racist shit, I don't give a fuck. That ain't fucking racist. Okay? If I'm in Italy, you think me, the way I speak English, I tried to go over there and talk to them. Oh, they bitchy, got to me. Now, those cocksuckers over there be like, get the fuck out. This would be in Italy. Only in America can you get a job where you're dealing with people that you don't speak the fucking language, where people not only on the phone can't understand you, but when they're face to face with your bad breath. This fucking guy had bad breath. I wasn't there, but that's what I was told. Okay? That's what I was told. They couldn't understand a word he said, and they actually said, I'm sorry, sir, you must go. We don't understand you. It's not fair. It's not right. See, I'm Rapaport Stereo Podcast. We'll be right back with Bizarro Steph Curry and then my man GMoneti. All right. See, I'm Rapaport Stereo Podcast. As I told you, we'd be right back with phone call to Bizarro Steph Curry. It's hard to keep track of him because he changes his number often. Sometimes we call the bar down the street from Oracle Arena in Oakland. Sometimes he answers, sometimes he doesn't. Apparently he uses burner phones. Bizarro Steph Curry does not like to be tracked down. but we get the numbers and we just try to reach him. So I'm going to give it a shot, try to get him on the phone. We're deep into the Thunder Warriors series, and let's just try to get this guy on the phone. Sometimes he's pissed, sometimes he's not. I don't know. I hope he's not angry.
Hello, who this?
Yeah, hey, this is the Iron Rapaport Stereo Podcast. We're looking for Bizarro Steph Curry.
First of all, don't be blowing up my phone after a fucking game.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
Now, I feel like fuck all these people who wrote me off.
Right.
Said I ain't shit. I don't play defense. I'm not this. We're down 3-1. I came back. So the Big H talking shit about Draymond Green. Fuck him. Fuck OKC. We taking this shit.
Okay. I noticed that. I noticed you came out a little bit more intense tonight. What are you thinking about Russell Westbrook and the way he's playing? And like I noticed you come to the games dressed like one way, and you guys like. What do you have to say about Russell Westbrook in general?
He all right.
Yeah, he all right. Like I noticed sometimes he comes in the game with his shit, curled up, showing his ankles and all that old fly shit. I ain't with all that. And back to this motherfucker, Oscar Robertson. I'm gonna let you know, my pops would crack that ass, I would crack that ass, and my brother would crack that ass. You wasn't doing none of the fly shit I was doing out there, oh. So fuck all that hate shit. My man Draymond Green bust that ass in any era.
Okay, well, listen, what do you do to relax after an intense game? I know I called some bar in Oakland. I got the number. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not intruding on anything. Like, what are you doing right now?
I'm in a pool hall, man, down at the East Bay, man. I come out here and I hang with the brothers and shit. A lot of motherfuckers don't know. I come down here. I know I'm a light-skinned motherfucker. I know people look at me kind of different. I know that.
But this is what I gotta say to these motherfuckers that try to say they look at me different. Y'all could eat a dick up and hiccup. And if you want something with me, I'm gonna let you know. I shoot baskets, I shoot pool, and I shoot joints. Y'all motherfuckers wanna fight, I'm nice with these shits. I told you once, I'm gonna tell you again. And all this interview shit, I know you're trying to record me with your little bullshit podcast and all that. Rapaport, I see what you're doing up there. I ain't with all that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay me for my time and shit. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
No problem, Mr. Curry. Listen, I don't want to keep you.
Don't call me no more, motherfucker.
All right, this is the Iron Rapaport Stereo Podcast. GMoneti, what's really good? What's going on? I heard the weather's good in New York. You're in the Boogie Down Bronx. Talk to me about what it's like walking around the Bronx when the weather gets nice. For those of you who've never been to the Bronx or been to New York this time of year, this is like when everybody's happy. That the worst is in the past. What is it? What's going on in the BX right now?
What's going on is the weather is loosening up, and now we have the clothes are coming off. The women are looking more beautiful, and I like that. I like that when the weather is nice.
Great.
So the Bronx is looking good, man. The women come out on some spring stuff. So along with the flowers, everything is good.
That makes sense. And what about and what are you thinking about this? Since you're mentioning women, you love the women. Everybody loves to see pretty women. Speaking of someone who really has an affinity for pretty women, Derek Fisher has to pay his ex-wife. I don't know what the fuck. Yo, I got mixed feelings about this. Derek Fisher has to pay his ex-wife what is it? What's the amount of money he got to pay his ex-wife? It's like
$100,000 a month.
Yo, Derek Fisher has to pay his ex-wife $100,000 a month, and in agreement. I hope to God no one's ever had to deal with this, but the way it works, long story short, and my non-use of any phrases, it's based on what you make. So obviously Fisher is making money. He was just the coach of the New York Knicks. They fired his ass.
Right.
And he started messing around with his ex-teammate's girlfriend, his ex-teammate's ex-wife, Matt Barnes, who I don't know why, if out of all the people's ex-wife you want to fuck with, I don't know why you would fuck with his, because he's got crazy eyes for real. And he just, I know he's about that life. He proved he was about that life. And now Derek Fisher has to pay his ex-wife spousal and child support in the total of $124,000. That's going to slow down date night with Matt Barnes' ex-wife.
Right.
Now, I know that we talk shit about these no good, greasy ass judges. They just throw down the gauntlet with the money.
Yep.
What is your take on this? Because see, I feel like this is some sort of karma because it's rumored, it's alleged that Derek Fisher, one of the reasons besides running the Knicks into the ground even further than they were, one of the allegations that sort of came up, it was in the papers, and then it kind of disappeared. One of the allegations against Derek Fisher is that he was making propositions not only to Matt Barnes, his former teammate, but to some of the players on the Knicks chicks. So he's wild for the night. He is wild for the night, allegedly. So what is your take on this shit? Like, how do you feel about this?
I feel like the judge factored all that into his decision to really ram it up this guy, because sometimes the judges get word and they hear the same things we hear, and we can't believe it that this guy's going after the players' girls. He has a pattern of doing this. So the judge factored that into his decision, and he's not a no-good judge because this guy's broken countless man law.
Right. This time he got double fucked. The spousal.
So he should get slammed.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, well, listen, we keeping it short and sweet. What we're doing on this episode, I told the people, Monetti, is I did a little solo shit, and then of course we had the pleasure of speaking to Bizarro Steph Curry. The fans wanted to hear you. And then I got Ruocco. I'm calling Ruocco, Ryan Ruocco, and then we're going to finish up with Wood Harris. And I know you heard part one of the Wood Harris interview, but he went fucking nuts when we started talking about NBA. So the mild-mannered, artistic Chillwood, the cat came out of the bag for part two. So I'm looking forward to people hearing that. You got anything else you want to speak about, Mr. Monetti?
Oh no, man, everything's good, man. NBA, come on, Warriors, let's get this. Come on, Cleveland.
Yeah, it's going to be good. All right, this is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Calling up my man Ryan Ruocco, analyst, ESPN analyst, Yankee analyst. He's a professional sports analyst. Covers the NBA. And I want to get some insight on this series, Golden State.
Yo.
Ryan Ruocco.
What up, man?
This is the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm calling you fresh after the Golden State Warriors game. Listen, I talk shit. You talk facts. You talk analytics. You know the game. You cover the NBA on ESPN. Give me some insight into the craziness of this series. You covered both these teams live and in person all season long. Give me something.
Yes. You know what, man? I think that maybe the most symbolic image of this game, and it'll depend what happens in Game 6, but the most symbolic image of this game might be Kevin Durant at the end of the game, dapping up his teammates like, hey, good fight, good job, as the game was still going on, staying calm, and then I'm sure it's going to be out on the internet and Vine when Steven Adams slams the back of a chair, walking to the bench, and Kevin Durant taps him and says, we got the next one. I think there's nothing about what happened in this game that would discourage the Thunder from thinking they'll end the series in Game 6. But there's this reality. You're one win away now if you're Golden State from playing a home Game 7. And I think the most encouraging thing for Golden State in this game was twofold. One, Draymond Green made an impact on the defensive end of the floor. He had some outstanding switches in the pick and roll. He really, at one point, was the driving force behind some of their best basketball. I guess it was in the second quarter or the third, I think it was, where he just started playing so actively, Mike. And then Steph Curry was going to the rim.
Right.
That's what he needs to do. He wasn't doing enough of that in this series. Like, people always talk about Steph, he's just a shooter. That's so ridiculous. Steph has maybe the best handle in the NBA, if not the best. He's top 2 or 3. And, he scores a ton of buckets at the rim.
Right.
And in this series, it kind of felt like, and maybe it's because he knows he doesn't have this full explosion, like he would almost like be hesitant to try and even finish at the rim. And in this game, he was attacking the rim and either getting to the line or finishing. And if I was Golden State, I know I didn't do anything mentally to throw the Thunder off, as evidenced by what Kevin Durant was like at the end of that game. But maybe I did something to get Steph Curry going and to get Draymond going on the other end of the floor.
Now, that makes sense. Let me ask you something. You covered these guys up close and personal. Westbrook, I remember texting you one time. I don't know who they were playing against. You were covering an OKC game. And those of you know who are not familiar with Ryan Ruocco, he's an ESPN analyst. He covers the NBA, covers the Yankees. He covers, you cover like every sport, lacrosse,
everything.
Kayaking, Olympic fencing. He does it all, but he's known for the Yankee stuff and NBA stuff. What is it like?
Kayaking's in there with those two.
Yeah, I mean, that's your real aspiration, is to become the Marv Albert of kayaking. But when you're watching Russell Westbrook up close and impersonal and covering him a game, what is his energy like as an analyst? Like, how hard is it to cover him?
You know what's funny, man? I like to tell this story. A couple of years ago, I was doing a Thunder game, and I asked Scott Brooks, the old Thunder coach, how would you describe, Russell Westbrook? Some version of that question. And he said, Russell Westbrook does not have a dim switch. And I thought that was just the perfect way to describe him. When that light is on, it is full blare. That's it. There's no dimming his energy. I also like to say, when you do a game courtside that Russell Westbrook's playing in, the broadcast table is under constant turbulence because he is just burning up and down the floor. For me, he is the best athlete in the league, and I don't know that it's that close. He is just a total and complete freak. And you know what's nice about it, too? He's that total and complete freak athlete with the motor on all the time and the heart of an absolute champion. Like, this guy is obsessed with winning and wants no part of losing. Now, we know occasionally that can hurt him because it could mean him jacking up some awful shots, and a lot of times they don't go in because Russell Westbrook's he's got a decent mid-range, but he is not a good three-point shooter. And in general, jump shooting isn't where he succeeds. He excels at getting to the line and getting to the rim. But he has this incredible confidence and this unbelievable fight, man. He's a freak. He's a total freak. And you know what else? Mike, you know this. Like, superstars, they don't, like, Russell Westbrook doesn't look at Steph Curry and say, oh, man, that's Steph Curry. Like his comments indicated before, he thinks, I'm Russell Westbrook, man. I'm better than this guy.
Right.
Now, he might be wrong about that, but there is no part of him mentally that doesn't think he's better than Curry. He really believes he's the best player on the floor every time he's on the floor.
Did you in any way see this coming in terms of this series being so now it's 3-2? But did you anyway see that, like, it was going to be this sort of lopsided, and then tonight this intense? I mean, this is like it's a great playoff. It makes for great drama. Did no one saw this coming, right?
You know what's funny? Like, haven't we all kind of been waiting, right, for the Thunder to put it together? Like, they should be this good. They have 2 of the 5 best players in the NBA. But when they peaked prior to this year, this group, in 2012, remember, at that time, we were thinking, like, oh, it's going to be Durant versus LeBron in the finals for years to come. Mm-hmm. Like, this was going to become, Bird magic. Like, these guys are going to go at it constantly. And they're the blueprint that the Thunder had built, where they kind of, they won a round, and then they got to the conference finals, and then they got to the finals. Okay, and a championship was the next step. You realize how fragile that is,
right? Because
then they got hurt, and this is really the first year where they have their group either healthy or not recovering from an injury,
right?
Like Russ and KD, even in some of the more recent years, even if they've been healthy, they've been recovering from, a knee surgery, a foot surgery, whatever it might be. This team, though, has a lot of talent, and it's Cantor, who was not good tonight, but he's found a role on this team where they can keep him on the floor in spite of his horrible defense, right?
And this guy, I don't know if it's Roberson,
Right? It's Roberson, yeah. Isn't it?
Is it right? Roberson or Roberson or who the hell is this guy?
It should be. It feels like it should be Roberson, right? But it's actually Roberson. That is the correct pronunciation. Is Roberson. He's a long, athletic dude. He can't bring much to the table offensively, and he's hit a few threes in this series. But if you're Golden State, you're going to live with that. But he's a good defensive player. But even Dion Waiters, man. Like, Dion Waiters, another one of these guys. Like Cantor, ton of talent, trying to find a way to get it out of him.
Right.
Different situation because Waiters was more about, attitude, mentality, rather than, just the defensive side of the ball. But Waiters, they've really gotten something out of. So bottom line is this, Mike. The Thunder have this talent. They finally figured out a way to put it together. So is it surprising? Like, the only thing that's surprising is seeing the Warriors look shook,
right?
Which they did in games 3 and 4, and a team that came off 67 wins in a title and followed up with 73 wins should probably never look shook.
Now, do you think? I know you're going out. You're out in the town in New York. God only knows what you're doing. God bless you. Now, so I don't want to keep you long. Now, this whole
all good.
This whole backlash with Steph Curry. What is your take on it? It's like tonight, if they have these slow motion cameras, like he was taking Durant to the basket. He was, doing his thing with Westbrook. And all of a sudden, he looks like himself. He has 2 or 3, not incredible games. And it's like the tide turned. It's like people are waiting to hit this guy with a baseball bat over his head. So what do you think of that? And then can you explain it? Because I feel like some of the backlash that's come from some of the analysts and just across the board is this unanimous MVP thing.
Because you know what it is, and it bothers me so much, Michael, and that's why I don't want to see him have a rough series at all, because people, it's the old, build you up, break you down society, right? Like, that's what it is. And people see Steph Curry, and they don't see anything that's, freakish as far as size goes and build goes and athleticism goes. And so at first, that creates this incredible relatability and likability. And it's like, wow, that guy can do it, I can too. And it's why all the kids love Steph, right? But then he gets to this point on the top of the mountain, and that's when, people want to tear him down or anyone down. And they start saying, wait a second. All of a sudden, those things that made him so endearing become the reason why he's not that special.
Right.
Hold on a second. This guy's, he's not a freak athlete like Russell Westbrook. This guy's puny. Okay, he's a shooter, but that's it. Oh, he can't do anything on the defensive side of the ball. People just look for things, which, by the way, in this game 5, he was tremendous defensively and had some critical steals, including a couple of possessions where he stymied Kevin Durant down the stretch. But I just feel like it happens to anyone once they get to the top of the mountain. We saw it with LeBron, too. Now, LeBron kind of spurted on himself with the decision. But, we just see it with greatness. People then try and tear you down. And so I do think that's a big part of it. Look, you know why Steph Curry was the first ever unanimous MVP? Because he was so obviously the MVP this year. He had maybe the greatest offensive season in the history of the NBA. And his team, who was the champs, followed that up with a 73-win year. Now, who in the right mind would pick anybody else other than Steph Curry to be the MVP of this year? So, of course, he's the unanimous choice. But, people see that and they start saying, wait a second, he's not Jordan. He's not Magic yet. He's not Bird yet. He's not Bill Russell yet, or Kareem, whatever. Name whatever names you want. And why is he getting that accolade? You know why? Because in the history of basketball, there was never as obvious a choice for MVP as Stephen Curry in the 2015-16 season. And that's why he's the unanimous MVP.
Who makes these votes, though?
It's the writers. It's the NBA writers.
And is it the GMs as well, or is it just the NBA writers?
the writers make the selections for MVP.
There could be politics involved. I mean, I think that, obviously LeBron, you could argue that LeBron has been the MVP every single year that he's been in the league.
You know what? But here's why. Yes, LeBron is still probably, if you ask, 30 GMs who they take number one overall for a 1-year stint right now, I'd say probably 24 of them are going to take LeBron. But this year, the Cleveland Cavaliers regular season was an underachieving regular season, okay? Right. Everybody thought, okay, this group now has a year under them. They're going to be, I know, Kyrie was coming back from injury, so we didn't start the season with them, but they're going to be flowing in all directions. They're going to have that rhythm. They're going to be a 60-win team, a 65-win team, something crazy. They won 56 games. LeBron was sensational the last 6 weeks, 2 months of the season, but he was not playing. I mean, he was still great. He's LeBron, but he was not playing at that level the entire year.
Right.
Steph continued it throughout, and the Warriors somehow, after winning a title, exceeded expectations. Whenever LeBron sits, the Cavs go in the tank. So technically, you can make that argument. But what Steph is to the Warriors, I don't know. Maybe instead of winning 73, they would have only won 46 games without him. That's still a huge drop-off.
Right.
So there are years. Look, LeBron should have been the MVP the year Derrick Rose won. This is not a year LeBron has that argument to make. Now, maybe he's going to end up winning the Finals MVP, but the regular season MVP, no doubt, was Steph Curry. I really think, Michael, it's just like it's a product of a couple things, right? Like, one, we have now all these constant conversations about sports because of all the different platforms we have. And then two, whenever someone gets to the top of the mountain, people want to knock them off.
All right, listen, Ruocco. I know you're chomping at the bit to hit the streets of New York. It's almost summertime in New York. The ladies are out. They're walking around.
New York's like it's summertime. It's like it's a different world, man.
I know. And listen, you're a young man. You're on top of the world. You're a sportscaster. I'm going to let you go. I appreciate the analysis. I appreciate the insight, and I appreciate the professionalism. All right.
Hey, that's what you know what, Michael? I bring the professionalism so you can make videos impersonating Danny Aiello. That's
exactly.
Why I bring it for you.
You bring the professionalism, so it accentuates my complete lack of professionalism and complete lack of knowledge, and I appreciate that. And that's why, listen, you're only as good as the people you put around you, and that's why I know this episode of the Iron Rapaport Stereo podcast is going to be fantastic. I appreciate it, Ryan, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, my man.
You got it, brother. Thank you for having me, man. I'm a big fan of those soft-ass Iron Rapaport T-shirts. So
super soft-ass. And I got to send you a new soft-ass hard-body karate T-shirt, which is a contradiction in itself because it's soft-ass, but it's hard-body karate. So I'm going to get you one of those ASAP.
See, only you could make a contradiction like that work, and that's why we're such good friends.
I appreciate it, Ruocco.
You got it, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, this is the Iron Rapaport Stereo podcast coming live and direct. It's an eclectic episode of the Iron Rapaport Stereo podcast. What can I say? Yo, continue to rate and review the show on iTunes. All the new fans that haven't done that, the more the merrier. You want to talk shit, do that. You want to give a 5-star fantastic rating. Of course, that's preferred. You want to talk greasy, do your thing. But the rating and the review just helps the podcast in general. Soft-ass Iron Rapaport Stereo podcast T-shirts at districtlines/IronRapaport.com. All right, now we're going to get into part 2 with my man Wood Harris. And let's jump into it. All right, the NBA playoffs. As I said earlier, Wood Harris has game. I don't know if he still has game, but he had game.
Mike, we got to do a whole nother show. It got to be a sports show.
Oh,
only.
for sure. But real quick,
Only.
if gun to your
NBA
head,
too.
you had to put the whole house on it. Who's winning the NBA championship this year? And what do you think of motherfuckers' dress game? Okay, so it's who's going to win the championship and
how they dressing, them cats dressing.
because Allen
crazy.
Iverson was persecuted
I know.
For some baggy shit.
I'll tell you something.
And I fuck with Russell Westbrook hard body. He's one of my favorite players. But my man came out the other day like he was in a bombing. He had his shit look like he literally like he was like an explosion happened. He was showing his midriff.
Oh, yeah?
He came.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
I have fun with it.
I'm super cool with Westbrook.
I fuck with Russell.
I'm gonna produce a 30 for 30 with him. I produced 30 for 30. I narrated the one.
The Benji shit.
The Benji shit.
The Ben Wilson.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a 30-30 on Westbrook. We talked about it, and so we gotta do the rest of the business.
I fuck with him.
But let me just say this about.
We do a 30 for 30 just on his clothing?
No, you brought up. We're doing a 30-30 on his game. You see, we could do a separate one on his
We could do like a short on the clothing.
His clothing could have a line of. Listen, Westbrook is smart. He knows how to do this brand thing crazy.
No, he knows what he's doing.
That's all I want to say. He knows what he's doing. And also, who got more game than Westbrook? Like,
he's a beast.
Fuck what you heard. I don't care what he wears wore. You know what he wore on the floor? A number 0, bro.
No one has to argue. that.
And he my side. He our side.
I know.
Like
it's ridiculous.
He's only a 6 small. Like he's small.
He's not tall.
Yeah, he a little dude in the NBA.
Yeah, he fucked me up when I first saw him. I was tripping out off him because I was like, you think he's 6'6"?
No,
he's maybe tipping in at maybe 6'4".
He's maybe 6'4".
Like
I don't think he's 6'4". But
if he's on 6'4", he's on the lower end of the 6'4". He's not like 6'4" and 3/4.
He's 6'3" point, like
9,
with his shoes
or
on.
6.41.
With his shoes on, he's 6'4", maybe.
Yes. He's a fucking beast. But that being said,
he's like Allen Iverson. It's a good thing that you put them in the same
tenacity.
In the same. Listen, that's perfect, Mike, to put them in because his heart is like Allen Iverson's, and Allen Iverson was a beast. If Allen Iverson played in the NBA now, the no-touch NBA, the Curry era, you know how many points he would get a game?
I know.
People act like
tenacity.
Actually, though, the NBA gets on my nerves a little bit, Mike. I hate to say it. Because it's the no-touch era. Look, you ain't never played basketball. A motherfucker couldn't touch you like this. And then they did this, and then they got rid of that?
Yeah.
So Curry's chucked up 400 threes and hit, 1,000 threes and hit 400 of them. But he chucked up 1,000 threes?
Hey, Wood, listen, I don't care.
Man, you would have been on your ass, bro.
But any era, a 25-foot step back is good in the 80s, the 90s, the 60s.
No, it's not. Yeah. Because let me tell you why. It's not.
Are you on you don't fuck with Steph Curry?
I fuck with Steph Curry.
No, Bruno.
I don't fuck with the era. It ain't his fault.
Right.
The gun is crazy.
Right.
Listen, you talking about this dude for 2 years. He been in the league for 6.
Right.
Tell me about the other 4.
He was hurt.
Everybody says he was hurt.
Yo,
he played those games.
The year before the MVP year, he got
games.
busy. The year before the MVP year, it's not like he just started getting busy.
Listen, he did just start getting busy.
Did you see him at Davidson? He was shitting.
No, listen.
And he looks like Albie Shore.
Listen.
What?
And he looked like Malcolm X. Let me say this.
I cannot
He like
believe
Malcolm X and
this
Albie
shit,
Shore had a
Wood.
baby. But I'm gonna say this. I'm not hating on Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry. I like the little players. I'm a little player, okay? I'm a fan of Steph Curry's. Let me just say that again. I love Steph Curry, okay? The NBA is soft. You can't put a hand or elbow or nothing on a player. Ray Allen couldn't hit that many threes. You can't even imagine it now. He never played a game that he didn't get hand checked. And it's not fair for somebody to have
he couldn't adjust. You're just saying.
Let me tell you how I'm not fucking with Curry.
Okay.
Unanimous?
Hey, fuck it. You know what? This is what I have to say.
Hold on.
This way.
Unanimous MVP?
Probably,
and he can't D up nobody?
Probably the one.
Hold on. He don't play no D?
You don't think he plays D?
Who he play D on?
He don't have to if he's scoring 57 points.
Look at that. Can you believe Mike Rapp said that? You don't have to play. See, I'm a real basketball dude. You got to play D.
You think he doesn't play D? They won 73
play
games.
D on where he deserves to be unanimous?
Here's the thing.
If you voted, the voters should be thinking on as a basketball, making basketball decisions, not like you, Mike, or me even. They should be even more meticulous. They should be like, okay, before they could be unanimous and didn't give it to Mike, and didn't give it to Kobe, and didn't give it to Shaq, and didn't give it to Bird, and didn't give it to Magic. What?
But check this out.
Curry?
But check this out.
6'1" dude.
There's been other.
Allen couldn't get it.
But there was
he played
other
better
dudes.
D. All those dudes play better D than him.
There's other dudes.
And you know what? They can't do better than him. All they can't do better than him is shoot. I feel like
you saying all they can't do better than him is shoot.
All they couldn't do better than him was shoot.
That's a big fucking thing.
The 3 even.
The motherfucker could. He's the best shooter.
Scorers.
Period.
They were better scorers.
Yo, this guy's the best shooter
ever.
Ever.
So you get a unanimous MVP?
But no, the thing about the
Stop it.
But
I
the
don't
thing
give a
about the
fuck.
unanimous, there's been guys that are like 99.9%. Like I don't know who it was. I don't fact check. But there was like Shaquille
give
the
a
year.
shit. That's not 100.
But here's the thing: LeBron, obviously,
How LeBron didn't get the
But
chip?
you know what? Because motherfuckers don't like him.
Why?
Because he's a fucking dick to a lot of people.
Why?
Hey, listen.
Listen, Mike, are you on the dick side of it? Because we got a great oppositional show.
On LeBron's?
Yes.
Oh, you mean as
Are you
far as the person?
crazy?
As far
Why?
as the
Why?
player and the
Why?
person. Here's
Why?
the thing.
Why?
Here's the thing. Probably the one dude who probably didn't vote for him. Now you don't fuck with Twitter, but LeBron, you unfollowed your team. Okay, and then the next day, but listen, the next
you don't
day,
get out of
I
here
know,
with
listen,
that unfollow
listen,
fucking
the
shit.
next day, listen.
You know
to
what
me.
you should do, LeBron? Get off social media. Just
Period.
get off social media,
Period.
LeBron, and just, you know what you should
I
do,
agree.
LeBron? Start your own social media fucking site.
Or do that.
Let them go to LeBron.com and do whatever you want.
I think motherfuckers are
I
tired
don't
of
give a
that
fuck.
shit. Yo, first of all, like
all I see is a good guy when I see LeBron. I'm sorry.
I see. Yo, I'm not.
How you not seeing a good guy?
I'm gonna save my LeBron story for another time. But that's a whole other thing. I'm gonna
What
save
did
my
they-
LeBron.
what did they
but
do?
Obviously, as far as
How? What is shit? Define shit. Define shit.
I fuck with
what?
LeBron.
Are you kidding?
I fuck with LeBron. No. I'm talking about like, yo, you played yourself, dude. But now I'm just telling you.
What they do?
As a player,
They did
I fuck
something
with
wild.
LeBron. But I think as far as a personality, you can't have the coach
First of all-
fired in the middle of the season when you're in the first place and think that the other
Why are you
GM
saying he did it? Listen, let me tell you
Are
something.
you fucking kidding me? He did it. You mean to tell me that he didn't? He has to push the button. If they're gonna fire the coach, you think the guy goes, "Yo, LeBron, we just fired the coach." He pushed the button.
Let me say this about the coach.
Come on, Wood.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Check it out. You talking about a player who never had a fucking coach. He don't have one right now. All superstars, whether it's Isaiah Thomas on underneath or Oscar Robertson, all of them. If it's number 6 from Boston, the old-timer Bill Russell,
The most overrated player ever.
underrated player ever, all of them had coaches, superstar coaches. You talking about a motherfucker who ain't had shit but a high school coach. Stop talking, bro.
Yo.
You guys are killing me so jealous of him. I don't feel that way. Look, LeBron, you guys are mega jealous.
I'm not
You
jealous.
guys are so jealous.
But
They're
how
so
am I
jealous
jealous?
of LeBron, they don't know what to do.
How am I
You
jealous?
talking about a dude who got dropped off at the coach house and became the best ever? Stop it. And I'm from the Shy. The best is Mike. But I'm going to say number 23. He
You're
wore
confusing
23
the
with
shit out of me.
respect. And here's the thing.
And then he put number 6. He said, "I'm not gonna wear
That's
23."
Bill Russell.
He's overrated.
Who?
Bill Russell.
You fucking need to.
Bill, yeah, he
anybody
played against-
own a bridge that might? Who got a bridge?
Wood, have you not? Well, let me tell you something.
Elon Musk
Wood,
got a bridge.
Wood, let me tell you something. Wood,
Sarah
Bill
Palin.
Russell is the
Sarah
most.
Palin, you need Mike to jump off your bridge.
Bill Russell is the most
Tell Mike I said
overrated
jump off
NBA
Sarah
player
Palin
ever. And the
bridge.
reason why is he was playing against my Jewish uncle Shlomo. Okay, look at some of the videotape of this guy.
So are you ranking the
That's not
player or
his
the
fault.
comp?
That's not his fault.
Well, then why you calling him overrated?
Because like Steph
He
Curry.
also had to D up Wilt Chamberlain.
Listen, but Wilt Chamberlain
What
was
about
meant
that? The
he was
legacy of
mentally
that?
weak. What would DeAndre Jordan have been back in Bill Russell's day? John Sally would have been Bill Russell. If you had any athletic 7-foot dude back then, they would have
Listen,
been
man,
Bill Russell.
You're
He was ahead of his
underrating
time.
him because you don't see his game fully. You don't see his game fully. You know what you need to do? You need to go look at the film because go look at some film and don't
It
go
doesn't
on
exist.
the snippet here and there. Well, no, it does exist.
It barely
go look at
exists.
the shit. Don't look at the numbers and go look at the footage of him, a player coach. That means this. You are so intelligent. You could run the floor and get the chip. Hold on. They got the chip. All right. So you know how many rings he got? This many, bro.
I know he got the 9.
This many.
He got 9 of them shits.
He got 2 hands of rings. He got a decade of rings, and it's not because for 10 years people sucked. You're undermining the NBA.
I'm just saying
you know what
overrated.
You need? We need a Mike gets flogged segment.
Wait.
Mike just gets gunned.
I like that,
where
my man
we
Wood.
put Mike against the wall,
No,
give him his
but
last
we-
cigarette, and aim and fire when he says super ludicrous things like Bill Russell's underrated.
Overrated.
The only player, overrated. The only player coach to go do anything in the NBA with success.
He was
You saying the
playing-
whole NBA was lame?
I'm saying the whole
'Cause he did it against the whole NBA.
The NBA was not fully integrated at the time.
But
They had
who
a
fought-
pro
I mean, that's
quo.
not-
I'm saying, look at some of the
Let
fucking...
me look at who was on the floor during his era.
Check it out.
Who was there? Oscar Robertson?
Overrated.
Oh, my God.
Oscar Robertson. Check this out. Oscar Robertson, let me just say
Anytime
this.
you can have that many
Oscar
seasons
Robertson,
of triple doubles,
Oscar Robertson,
you're not overrated.
Try to find the footage of Oscar Robertson dribbling with his left hand. Just dribbling with his left hand. And he's talking about Steph Curry. He didn't do what Steph Curry did in one game in his whole career.
Like I said, the flogging segment. See, here's what Mike is not putting.
What would Russell Westbrook been back then? If Oscar, think about how good Russell Westbrook is
but
now.
then he can only be what he is now because of all of these steps.
Of course, I get all that.
But if you could take him and transplant any of these modern players,
I get that.
Steph Curry also, they would just be juggernauts. Because they would have the future in them.
Of course, I get that.
We can't put the future in the past.
I get that.
So Oscar Robertson had to have
I understand.
Jerry West sticking him. Sorry.
I get that. I understand it's the evolution of man.
He did those dimes on Jerry West.
I understand.
The logo. He put the logo. He put a triple-double every time he saw him on the logo.
Jerry West would be
It's
lucky
overrated.
Jerry West would be lucky
so you're
to
saying
be...
the whole NBA was in the past
Jerry
is
West would be lucky to be J.J. Redick. Okay?
I mean, he's saying the whole NBA before now is overrated.
No. I'm
Before
just saying.
when?
I'm just saying.
Let me ask you this. When did the NBA become something to talk about? Isaiah era?
No.
Magic?
When it
That's
became
Magic
fully integrated. I think in the 70s, when it became
Dr.
fully...
J?
Doc,
Late
Tiny,
Doc, late Doc, middle Doc,
early Doc, like when the ABA and the NBA and black players
I can
weren't
agree
just
partially with that.
There wasn't a pro quo on, and also just athletes in general. The evolution of man. It's just the evolution of the athlete. But just to go back on your LeBron thing.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I hate it when people hate on LeBron.
No, listen. Let me finish. If I had to pick a player tonight, and I was playing for my life and death, I would pick LeBron.
Of course.
That being said, that doesn't mean I have to root for this motherfucker. Just like I didn't root for Larry Bird or Jordan because I'm a Knicks fan. And I'm certainly not rooting for this motherfucker.
Let me tell you something. The Knicks fans... Look,
you're Chicago. You're stuck up. You're fucking stuck up.
One time, let's mix movies
so
and sports.
stuck up with this fucking Chicago
Let's mix the
shit.
movie and sports right quick. I'm walking past the set of Girl 6.
Okay.
This is a 40 Acres and a Mule production. Spike is on the set. I'm walking by. It happened to be, I guess, Game 5 when Pippen blocked somebody, I forget who.
Charles Smith.
Shot 4 times and the whistle didn't blow because he's a defender, a true defender, and this ain't the weakest era ever like the Curry era is. Back when you could lightly connect, incidental contact didn't create the whistle to blow. But anyway, I'm walking past the set, I see Spike. I get off. I had just got. Let me pause for a second. I just got off the train with a bunch of Knicks fans, where I had to be quiet because if I uttered the words of a
if you had identified yourself,
if I identified myself as a Bulls fan, I might have caught an ass kicking back in that New York.
Yes.
Actually, motherfuckers would have got at me if I would have said
yes
anything.
Yes.
Right.
Keep it quiet.
I kept it. Listen. I know when I'm in Rome how to act. So I'm walking now. I'm not in Rome anymore. I'm on Girl 6 set, and I see Spike, and me and Spike had an argument about the call, about that whole type of thing. So let me just say this: Mike Rapaport being a Knicks fan is a sad thing. I'm from Chicago. I'm a Cubs fan.
That's a fucking disgrace.
I know how I feel to be a Knicks fan.
That's a fucking disgrace.
No, I'm sorry. The Cubs getting busy right about now.
They always get busy right about now. It's always right about now.
The history of the Cubs.
Yes.
Listen, I'm not going to talk about the Knicks because the Yankees, because the Yankees is just a fucking corporate. It's just
stay focused.
McDonald's.
Stay focused.
I call
stay
it Yankees
focused on your
McDonald's.
Girl 6 story because I like this.
Anyway.
Girl 6. The music was produced by Prince, I believe. Was Girl 6?
Yeah.
Okay, but let's stay
Prince
focused.
Was on the soundtrack.
Stay focused.
Yeah,
you
no.
saw
Anyway,
Spike.
I do the Spike thing. I see Spike, and the long story made short, he and I had a exchange about the Knicks. Now, what I love about Spike, I ain't gonna lie, I love this about Spike, and I love about New York fans like Mike is, they're diehard. They tend to be diehard. Now, I don't know if they still are, because the modern era roots for the fucking overdog. People were rooting for Steph Curry, who daddy was a pro and a coach. Wow.
I can't believe you're shitting on Steph Curry.
I'm not shitting on Steph Curry. But what you expect him to do? Am I lying? Tell me I'm not telling you the truth.
What that?
He is the overdog. He grew up with
yes.
a dad
I
that was a player and a coach.
I got you.
So what if he's in the pros?
He's
so
also
is his brother.
He's so 6'2", 180 pounds. It's not like this motherfucker's like a physical specimen.
And
You're
the
taller
whistle
than
don't
Steph
blow
Curry.
anyway. Who cares? You can be. This is why it's a little man era.
The Steph Curry hate is starting to
Oh my
shoot,
God!
and it's happening by
I don't want people to
world
think. Let me
famous
make this.
actor,
Let me
extraordinaire Wood
say
Harris
this straight up.
is at the front of the hate of Steph Curry.
I'm not. Listen, let me tell you something. I got nothing but love for basketball players, okay?
Of course.
But I'm not going to blow
were fans.
the Curry family because this kid deserves what he's getting. He worked hard to get there. I know he went to like art college and all. I understand his bio a little. I'm not sleeping on Steph Curry. I understand. Look, when I watch him shoot, I'm looking at the best shooter I ever seen shoot the ball in the era that you can't touch a player. Now, we used to think somebody else is the best shooter, and they didn't get the opportunity to have free looks. Also, when you can't touch a player, the lanes open up, Mike. Understand the science of it some. Like,
I get it.
So now the running spaces are larger. Everything changes because they want to see games be 140 points.
I get it.
I'm not down with the new commissioner. David Stern was a better commissioner. The only thing I like about the new commissioner is he handled that Donald Sterling shit. Other than that, it's a flop. Look, you got to be 19 to get in the league. Why?
Right.
Just be good enough. My thing is, if
not,
you get
though.
no out of
that's
high
a whole other thing. Wait, stay on the story because we have to. First of all, we're definitely doing a whole fucking basketball podcast because you came in hot. I didn't know you were coming in hot.
Are you
I knew
crazy?
You
I'm not hot. I'm cold as ice.
I didn't know you were shitting on Steph, but actually ball riding LeBron.
I'm George Gerving. I'm cold.
Iceman.
I'm the ice chair boy. The best poster.
Listen.
I'm the best poster. Besides the Mike one when Mike was like this.
With the arms out. The ice poster was ill.
Yeah.
The Moses Malone shit was ill too.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So when you were, all right, you were breaking it down.
Fucking Google those, y'all.
Google the posters. All right, I gotta wrap it up. I'm gonna say this. So based on everything you have, everything you know, everything that's going on right now, we're in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. We're up to date. We're up to score. If you had to bet the house, who's winning the NBA championship this season right now? Based on everything that we know right now, who do you think is going to win? There's 4 teams left. Wood Harris, make your prediction.
I think my prediction probably falls on, I just think the OKC is looking like they've come of age.
Yep.
And I think they're going to beat Golden State, not because Curry can't give his all, not because Golden State. I just think that Golden State's engine is a little down. They played. I agree. They went and got the title. See, one of the things I'm gonna say, I hate that. I'm a fucking diehard Bulls fan.
See, that's where this is coming into. Let me preface this to the
72 and 10. I ain't see that going nowhere.
Let me preface.
But now that they're in the softest era, a motherfucker could hit 403.
We're making sense now where the Steph Curry shit is coming from, because although Wood Harris does sound more like a New Yorker and less like a Chicago person, it's all making sense. He's all fucked up in the game because he was like, that record's never going to be broke. And the fact that record's
in Chicago, man.
Jim McMahon doesn't know whether it's a Tuesday or a Thursday. These things hurt. These fucking things hurt, Wood. Okay?
What is this?
I understand that. I under-fucking-stand that. Okay, so that's where we got to backtrack. The Steph Curry thing is coming a little bit from the Bill Wennington, fuck Bill Cartwright. I loved it when he was in Nick. Okay, fuck Bill Cartwright. Okay,
Phil Jackson, you guys.
He's my guy now. He's my guy now.
I mean, he got successors not in New York. His successors in Chicago.
I got it.
So, I mean,
when he was with you, he's got a goatee now. When he was with you, he just had the mustache. He looked crazy. That's all I'm saying.
Frankenstein either way.
All right, listen. I'm gonna shut it down. Wood Harris. We're gonna have to. Okay, so you got OKC.
I mean, it's either going to be Cleveland or OKC. I hate to bet against LeBron because, listen, let me just say this real quick.
Okay, break it down.
Last year, LeBron averaged 41 and 12.
He was a fucking beast.
41 and 12 every game against Golden State.
Was that what he wound up averaging?
God damn it.
41 and 12.
What?
He was incredible.
Listen. And he had to do that because there was no Kevin Love and no Kyrie Irving. So you mean a player got 41 and 12 a game? And that's 12 rebounds and 7 assists? He almost got a trip dub every rip. And this kid over here want to talk about LeBron because off the court he says something crazy.
No.
Cats, listen, man, it's hard to beat people, man. And you listen, LeBron grew up with nothing. I take that underdog. That's the underdog.
Not no more.
Curry was never the underdog. LeBron grew up. No,
but I'm
not
saying,
anymore
you're
because
talking
he
about the
created
player.
this world.
You're talking about the player.
I'm talking about the player.
You're talking about the player or the person.
I don't know either one of them.
No, but you're saying he grew up with nothing in terms of.
When I'm talking about the person,
Right.
the person grew up without his pop. This other dude grew up.
I got
pop
you.
in the NBA.
I got you.
Which means he
But that's
never.
not a bad thing, though, Wood. That's not a bad thing.
It's
You
called an
can't-
advantage.
But I'm saying you can't.
It's
listen,
not a bad thing.
If you're
It's
6'2",
called an advantage.
If you're 6'2", 175 pounds, that ain't no fucking advantage. He had to fight to. He almost didn't. You know, you know his.
Again.
I don't wanna make it a personality contest.
He could exist in any era. I'm not trying to make this about Steph Curry. Listen. I'm gonna go on the record and say I love Steph Curry. Watching them game, his handles is only comparable to Kyrie Irving. Even just without the shot, I ain't never seen a person handle the ball
it's
as
crazy.
good as him and Kyrie Irving. Actually, the difference between him and Kyrie Irving is Kyrie got the ball on a yo-yo with his hands.
Did you know that Kyrie?
But Steph Curry is Fred Astaire with his feet. It's crazy what he's doing with his feet.
You know what I just found out? I didn't know this. Do you know that Kyrie Irving's godfather is Rod Strickland?
Yeah, I knew
and I
that.
was like,
I just learned that too.
It made perfect sense because
The way they play is very similar.
he has those angles and like that. I mean,
It's different.
It's different,
It's a different game.
it just was like, of course, his godfather's.
Strick was a Knick, right?
Strick was a Knick. He was a Portland. He was a Wizard. And
He was in DePaul too, outside in Chicago. Chicago, that's a Chicago college. Yeah.
One of the illest point guards
He
ever.
probably got all their records or whatever. Rod Strickland. If you don't know Rod Strickland, man, you know.
Strictly Strickland.
Strick.
Talk about a New York City legend.
But the Knicks ain't going nowhere soon. I love Carmelo
shit.
Anthony.
No
but
shit,
the
they're
Knicks
not
ain't
going anywhere
nowhere. I like
soon.
the new kid too. I like Porzingis. I like him.
We're
You
not
don't
doing
like him?
anything. Of course I like him. He's 7'3".
What you think about?
I love
Who's
him. But
coaching the Knicks now?
your man Jeff Hornacek. They just hired.
Can I tell you something funny?
This is why I love Wood Harris.
Me and Jeff Hornacek went to the same high school.
Did you really?
Yeah. You ever see Hoop Dreams?
Yeah.
I went to that high school Isaiah went to.
Oh shit.
And I played ball for that high school. Who won a ball? Who got next?
You played ball at that same high school?
Same high school. Coach Pingator.
Who was in the
he's a
movie Hoop
dick.
Dreams?
The
One of the
dick-
best documentaries ever.
Yeah, one of the best docs ever. Actually, I'm not behind. I'm just out of school when they started making
They're
it.
a little bit younger than you.
They're like 2 years younger. Yeah.
All right, Wood. You threw me for a loop. You came at me hard body karate with the NBA shit.
Well, the NBA shit is what we got to go do
I know.
something else on.
I know. We totally
That's a
got to
whole
do
nother
something else
world.
on. It all makes sense.
And
you know
the
your
NBA will
shit.
pay for us to do it too. The NBA give us the bread too. We'll be at the motherfucking All-Star game with our own segment.
Talking all kind of shit.
Yeah, we'll take celebrities and then we'll take the NBA cats and we'll have them motherfuckers in a whole nother room. Not like the goon room. We'll decorate it.
Who's the most impressive celebrity basketball player you ever played against? There's a handful that I think could
There's
play.
some great ones, man.
Who do you think is great? Use the word great.
Great in the league.
Great. I mean, but who do you
I
think
know
could
what you
play?
mean.
You know who could
play?
play back? I mean,
Who?
he wins the fucking celebrity game.
Dwayne Martin could play.
Dwayne Martin is
Back
probably
in
the
days.
best.
Yeah, Dwayne Martin can hoop.
But you know who had? I mean, he could still play, but he's slowed up, and he got so much money in his pocket. Of course, you're gonna slow. But when he was younger, Kevin Hart could get down. He was like one of them little.
Yeah,
fucks.
Kevin Hart could play, but the only reason why Kevin Hart could play is because he's amazingly small. It's like
Nah, he was-
being amazingly tall.
I got it, but he was
Like-
one of those fast,
like he got game though.
tough little fucking fast.
But you
fuckers.
can't guard him. You can't.
Of
You know
course
who
you
else
can't
was
guard
good?
him.
There was a couple of guys who was really good. Brian McKnight could play too.
He could shoot, but I never thought he
We
was.
don't
that
like
good.
Brian McKnight though. No, people don't like Brian McKnight. He's all right.
I didn't like his game. I wasn't impressed. I was like, that's good for the celebrity league, but if we get in the
A
park,
lot of cats was all right.
There were some dudes who could play.
A lot of cats. It's a lot more they couldn't. Like Ashton Kutcher shouldn't step on the court.
Leonardo, I love you a lot. DiCaprio, I
off
fuck
the
with you
floor.
from 20-something years ago, Leonardo, and I know you were trying hard for Basketball Diaries. Never do it again. Tobey Maguire, I don't think
Tobey
he ever
Maguire shouldn't
played.
play ball.
Don't ever play again.
But you know what?
David
Actually, they
Arquette-
should play because I like the fact that they love it so much that they don't give a fuck.
No, they don't give a
We got to
fuck.
give it up.
They
Will
didn't-
Ferrell can shoot. What they don't know is, do you ever see Will play?
Yeah, I seen Will play.
He can shoot. He
it's
got a little
hard to guard
baseline
Will
three.
because everything when he's
wait
playing
for it.
ball, it looks crazy,
It does look crazy to see him on the court,
and he
though.
just looks bugged out.
And you know what? I'm taller than Ashton Kutcher, and he looks so tall on TV.
Yeah, he can't play.
A lot of motherfuckers look so tall, and they're not that tall.
Ashton Kutcher, I fuck with you. I respect you. You're garbage.
You know, we was in the same game when
Ted.
Yeah.
Right, Ted Demme.
We experienced that together. That's another Hollywood thing.
That was
that
terrible.
We were in the same game, and you were on his squad.
I was talking to him.
Actually, wow, bro.
That fucked me up. I was right there. I was talking to him when that happened. When the great Ted Demme passed away when we were at the Hollywood League. That's a whole other. That was terrible. That really rocked me.
Man, that rocked me, bro.
That was horrible.
Everybody present was rocked, and it was a small crowd. We had 10 people on the floor and
About
maybe
10 people in the
20 people on the floor,
It was
including
terrible.
the benches.
Shocking.
And maybe 40 people in the stands. All we doing is being weekend warriors. We go up the floor one time, the boy's standing. We go down the floor the next. He ain't.
Yeah, it was terrible. Terrible with Ted Demme passing. Director of Beautiful Girl,
Life
Blow.
with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I mean he was
the late. I'm sure you knew Heavy D.
Yep.
The late
And
Heavy
just
D.
a good dude. Forget the directing. He was just a good dude, fun dude, brought people together. Family man, kids. Still know his kids. I coached his kid in basketball.
Get outta
It used to
here.
bring tears to my eyes. Like I would coach him at the YMCA. It used to fuck me up because it was Ted. And he looked just like Ted.
Oh man.
But you know, his family, you know, they persevered. Listen, Wood, this has been a fucking pleasure.
Yeah, it has been growing, learning experience too, bro.
Yeah, well, I learned about something like the thing that I feel like the most of it I've learned about is the basketball shit. I didn't know like your soul, like that you that 72 and the 73 that really took a toll on you.
No, listen, man. It did take a toll.
It took
on
a
me. I ain't
little
gonna lie
toll
to
on
you.
you.
It took a toll. But you know what I'm real happy about? Still, the 96 Bulls have the record in terms of they got the chip. They got the chip.
Yes, you don't mean
And they got more
the
wins
ring.
as of yesterday.
Yes,
My homie Russell Westbrook,
Yes.
who plays defense, who should have got a vote. There should have never been a unanimous decision for Steph Curry. Ever.
I don't agree.
Not with a Russell Westbrook in the league. Are you crazy? He had just as many dimes as Oscar Robertson.
he was incredible. I'm not
He had
gonna
that
argue.
many dimes in this era, though.
He scored. He
Hold
had
on,
a
you can say
triple-double in,
Oscar
like, was it
Robertson.
27
you can
minutes?
say Oscar Robertson's overrated, but he got that many dimes today.
You don't have to
so how
convince me
you
about
ain't get a
Russell
vote?
Westbrook.
How you ain't get a vote?
It's the team.
How could you have a year where LeBron don't get a vote? Anyway, and a guy who can't defend another superstar at all.
I don't agree.
Didn't get a
that
vote.
He can't.
Who?
He's playing D on Russell Westbrook. Now that's not me. He's not stopping
They're
him.
all playing D.
But, okay, listen. No.
Mike never got stopped.
Okay.
You never
I didn't
saw
say
Mike
he
get
was
stopped.
Michael
He ain't get a
Jordan.
he ain't get a unanimous chip. So how you gonna co-sign the shorty getting a unanimous
Because
chip?
to me, that's just like the Oscars.
No, I'm gonna say this, man.
To me, it's like the Oscars.
This is what I think. I'm gonna go racial on it too, and I hate to go racial.
Because he's light-skinned?
No, it's because he's light-skinned, and also, no, it's not that. I'm gonna tell you what this is. It's that the white guys appreciate the J more than the rest of the game. They love the three and the jump shot more than the rest of the game, even the defense. So this kid who's fair-skinned, and that don't have nothing really to do with it. He light-skinned it, but that don't have really nothing to do with it.
You know who's gonna
what it
fuck you
has
up
to
for
do with
talking
is
shit?
that there's a guy on the court, whether he was black, green, yellow, orange, or red, who can shoot jump shots the way he does, which is the greatest we've ever seen of a jump shot. These white cats had to vote him unanimously. Now, I don't even know if all the voters are white, but I'm saying they all got a white mentality.
Listen, you know who's gonna come after you because he's the king of all things light skin for talking shit.
Who?
You're gonna have to deal with him, and he could be a problem.
Who?
Matt Barnes. Because anybody,
I met Matt Barnes. I fuck with Matt Barnes.
I'm just
Matt
saying,
Barnes hood though. I'm
that's
hood.
what I'm saying. He's
Matt Barnes love me, man.
He's holding it down for
Yo, let me
the
tell you
whole
something.
light skin
Yo,
contingency.
Let me tell you something. The Clippers, they fucked up when they got rid of him.
I agree. He's the guy you want on your
Let me
team.
say something. I got love for Matt Barnes. He ain't even team light skin. That's team dark skin right there.
He's thuggish ruggish.
He thuggish ruggish.
For real.
I fuck with Matt Barnes. He got a little Allen Iverson in him too.
Oh, no.
I fuck with anybody with a little. Look, Steph got a little of that.
Of course.
Yo, Steph is a beast.
Of course.
I'm not gonna end this with the whole world thinking that
The whole
Wood
world already
Harris
thinks it.
The
whole
no,
world-
don't you co-sign that never again. Listen, Steph Curry is a beast. I said I never once uttered a word about him not having the greatest jump shot. You got to give credit to that, but you don't give unanimous decisions to people outside when you ain't give it to Mike and you ain't give it to Kobe. Kobe had 81 in the season. In that same season, they put him on the bench after he had 63 and 3/4.
I was at that game.
That same season, he had 56 and 3/4.
I fuck
when
with
they
Kobe,
benched him.
but the 63-point game was a disaster. As good as it was, I saw guys on his own team.
Rapaport is
no,
out
listen
of
to me.
his fucking
I
mind.
love with
How
I
is
love
that
Kobe.
a disaster?
But listen, what I was
He
at
had
that
63 in the whole,
Talk about,
and the whole Mavericks had 62.
He didn't even consider passing the ball. I was at the game.
Never considers
the players
passing.
on
Crazy?
his team were going like this. They were throwing.
They look like D'Angelo Russell. What's the young cat who played himself for the Lakers?
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, they look like him. When he was tapping for the ball.
Yeah, it looked crazy.
And they didn't want to give him the rock.
It looked crazy.
Yeah.
It's another fantastic episode of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Hard Body Karate t-shirts are available. What more can I say? To quote the great Jay-Z, we out, I'm out, like a scout on a new route. We're done.